everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you. I am Shubha Agarwal, and it's my pleasure to be the event chair for the session today. I'm sure with several months of lockdown, we are all looking forward to this festive season and meeting and hosting people after so long. To help you add that touch of exclusiveness, we have amongst us Anuja Gupta, co-founder and creative director at Apartment 9. Apartment 9 is a name to reckon with in the interior and home decor business. Anuja and her partner Mayank began Apartment 9 15 years ago to follow their vision of design led manufacturing and innovation. She brings to the table 2 decades of design insight and a keen business understanding. Anuja completed her bachelor's in economic honors from GMC, Delhi University, and her MBA from International Management Institute, New Delhi. Starting with their first store in New Delhi, Apartment 9 has graduated to several stores across the country. The growth rate of their business, measured leaps and bounds, explained the success of their brand. Anuja has been honored with the prestigious Elle Decor Interior Design Awards in the categories of furniture design and interior design. Welcome, Anuja. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation today.
Thank
Looking
you for
forward to
having
an
me.
thank you. Looking forward to an enriching session with you today. But before we begin, I would like to invite our chairperson, Dr. Aarti Gupta, to say a few words.
Thank you, Shubha. A very good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to Flow Kanpur's workshop on festive hosting. With the festive season inching closer, we all have been doing our Diwali cleaning and getting our homes ready for hosting. While many traditions have gone by the wayside over the years, being a spectacular host has never gone out of style. With a tiny bit of planning and thoughtfulness, you can go from being a good host to a great one. With the current situation, I feel this festive season, we are not looking at those elaborate parties and poker scenes. Instead, the time is for smaller gatherings and intimate settings. And to help you do that with great style and elegance, we have with us Anuja Gupta. A very warm welcome, Anuja. I have known Anuja for over a decade now, and I've always been so impressed with her aesthetics. She has this natural, charming style of putting simple, everyday things together so elegantly that the end result is always out of the box. Whether it is a piece of furniture at the store or a dinner table laid out for some close friends, everything Anuja does is so creatively done that I've always wondered where this artistic instinct comes from. To answer this and share some of her creative festive hosting ideas, I would now like to invite Anuja to take on the stage and please begin.
Thank you, Aarti, and thank you, Shubha, and thank you, first of all, for having me here. And of course, we all live in this virtual world now for the moment, hopefully not for too long. So it's great that we can now sort of interact across chapters and sort of do this across cities, which ideally, normally would be stuck into your own cities. So I'm very happy to be here. So I'm going to keep everything very simple, very organic. Happy with that. To answer your question, where does all this come from? Honestly, I think I have to owe a lot of it to where I grew up and the family that I grew up in. I grew up in the heart of the old Delhi, the walled city as we call it now. So that brought in its own charm of, everything old and traditional. And then I grew up in a family with a grandfather and a father and my mother who were all very creative in their own way. My grandfather back in the day used to hand draw all his posters. He was on the political side of things. So, we grew up seeing all of that. He was someone who put together the most gorgeous weddings ever. And my father has the same knack. He gave me a beautiful wedding. He gave my brother a beautiful wedding. And he's done and designed thousands of weddings for all friends and families. So, you see and you learn and you sort of pick up little things along the way. And I guess and then I was lucky enough to be married into a family which was even more creative. My father-in-law, I've learned a lot from him over the years. My husband, who's got a great keen eye for things. So, it's all sort of I don't know, over the years, we've just sort of grown into being who we are now. And we love what we do. So I guess that helps to some extent because, like they say, it's cliched, but as long as you love what you do, you're great at it. So I'm hoping it's a little bit of that. Yeah, and that's it. So today we're going to, Aarti reached out, said, can we do this? Honestly, it's not something I do as such. It's something that I just do at home for my own dinners and lunches, and when I'm hosting friends and family and all of that. So I'll take you through a little bit of all of that, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it, and maybe pick up some stuff from it to be able to use in your own homes while you're entertaining. I mean, these days we're not entertaining a lot, but even so, I truly believe that even if you don't have people over or you're not hosting people, even the table at home should be laid out a certain way. Us, our kids, our family should, live well, eat well, and it all sort of should look nice because that's where you feel good. Even if you're eating alone, honestly, the table should be laid out nicely so that you feel good about that. So it all sort of builds up to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen share now, Aarti, if that's okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Do this. Just one moment. Okay. Is that good, Aarti? Is the screen on?
It's perfect.
Okay, great. So these are little things, images really that I've put together because we couldn't kind of do a live demo of any sort. It's a bit difficult with technology and the camera and all of that. But what I've done is, some of the tables and some of the things I've done over the years. I'm going to take you guys through it, talk you through it a little bit, and in the end, be happy to answer any questions that come along. So I'll start a little bit with all the tablescapes. So these are essentially tables done up and decor-wise in different looks and feelings. It depends on the mood. It depends on who you're hosting. It depends of the time of the year. Of course, the weather plays a huge role in the country that we live in. So it depends on a lot of things. This table is, a typical Sunday brunch and how you would ideally lay out a Sunday brunch table. Like it says, keep it fresh and organic. Everything I do is very organic. I literally walk around the house, look around for things that I find. I pick up this and that and the other, and I sort of try and put it together. Here is a table which is very fresh. Of course, it's outdoors. It's set in the garden. The base tablecloth is what gives your whole table a kind of a theme in terms of a color. And then there's an overlaid tablecloth, right? You see that here. So my thing is that you always have to lay a tablecloth and an accent tablecloth on your table because I think that sort of helps bring the whole look together. One thing I always like to do is put out the menu of whatever I'm serving on that particular day because I think it's nice for the guests. Of course, one thing is cuisine. You can say I'm doing Italian, I'm doing Indian, I'm doing whatever. But I think putting out the whole menu really sort of involves the guests into what you're going to be eating. And of course, we all love food and everything revolves around food. So it's important. For this table, I also got some fun chairs. So what I do often is I keep my, local tent house guy on speed dial when it comes to entertaining, because, you can get small things. Of course, we all don't own all these things at home, and it's not possible to store everything at home. So, it's always nice to bring in these different things to add that little difference to your hosting instead of using your same dining chairs or whatever chairs you have at home all the time. Sorry, did I go ahead? Yeah. So here you can see what I've done is I've used these little aluminum containers, which again, I picked up, from somewhere. They're just simple rectangle aluminum boxes. And I've used a little jute burlap, kind of a tape to sort of wrap them around just to make them look nice. And I grew wheatgrass in them, which is so easy to do. You just give a little bit of gehu to your mali and say, "Isko gado." You do it 10 days before you're going, you're going to host a nice big dinner, and it looks beautiful. It adds so much value to the table, I feel. Wildflowers, I mean, for this brunch, the idea was to keep it, very simple and clean. So I used a lot of like simple wildflowers. And here, if you see in these little mason jars, I've added this little lemon and little mandarin orange. Again, to keep it fun, it's all conversational, just to take that freshness element all the way. If you see, there's a jar of flavored water. So instead of just putting regular water, you add a little bit of fruit, this, that, and the other in it. So it's always fun to do that. Like same here, there's a jar of flavored water. It's got coriander and cucumber and lemon in it. What I do very often is do fun place cards. Now, of course, one obvious way of doing place cards is putting people's names on it. But then to take it up a notch, I use some fun quotes. I do some fun jokes about the people who I'm hosting. Very often, I write a little sort of description of the person that I want seated at that particular place. It helps involve everybody onto the table. It also makes a point of conversation. Sometimes it's interesting, as long as it just brings even a smile on your guest's face for 1 second, I guess, that helps. So that was the, like a fun brunch. Now, the next spread that I have here is an autumn spread. So this was, of course, something that went from a sundowner onto a late night sort of evening. Here, as you see, again, speed dial, the 10th house guy. I got this log table and this little bench this was a casual setting with friends. So I didn't need proper dining chairs or, back chairs. So kept it fun like that. Candles is something which is a part of everything I like to do normally, because nothing adds the magic like candles do, and the glow and the light that they give, it's beautiful. You feel amazing around them. So always I would say, we must own some interesting and fun candles at home. Always have a little stock in a box somewhere so that we can pull them out and use them. Yeah, so on this table there were interspersed flowers. With flowers, it's always very important on the table to keep the height good in terms of not blocking the view of the person sitting across you and things like that. I also like this was a winter setting, right? So there was these little blankets put out for someone to pull on if they felt cold or something like that. Then there's interactional elements. Do you see there's this little tic-tac-toe kept here? So again, like, of course, we are all friends, we're all close, we're meeting, so the conversation has to be fresh, the conversation has to be interesting. You can't have the same boring stuff going on. So, a little tic-tac-toe to have a little bit of a, friendly banter on the table while everybody's eating and drinking. Yeah, so these are like things I've collected over times, and I keep collecting these quirky things wherever I go. Do you see this little garlic pod kind of a thing? This is all like fake garlic. I bought it, I was walking on the Mall Road in Missouri and I saw this guy selling this and even this little onion thing here. So I just picked it up, and actually it looks beautiful. Mostly I do this when I do my Italian spreads normally. So it kind of goes with that theme. Do you see this little black book of answers? So this is a little book, again, I picked up on one of my trips. It's very fun. You sort of take your hand around it 4 times, and then you ask a question in your head, and then you open the book to any page, and that is supposed to be the answer to the question you ask. Now, of course, it's fun when you do this on a dinner table. It was 10, 12 of us. So you pass around the book, everybody asks a fun question, and then you do this and you hear the answers. And, it just creates a mood for the table. Do you see these old books that I've used? This is something also I use very often on my tables. This is literally books bought from the Kabadi Bazaar with the top, taken off. And and they've got this beautiful sepia old world charm now because they're old books. And I've just used this raffia to tie it around and make it look a little more fun and contemporary. I use those a lot. Sorry. So that's it. And these little lanterns I've used as well with candles. Again, I play a lot with candles because I think it's beautiful to have lots of candles around. The next one is a very simple dinner table for 6 friends. My husband and I were hosting 4 other friends. So very, very simple, very quick table that you can just do. Again, simple black tablecloth. I've used regular craft paper here, as you can see. To make the placemats with a little black, I use regular wrapping paper on top of it and just stuck it together, cut it into different sizes, stuck it together. I've used glasses as little candle holders because I didn't have anything else maybe around that time, or I don't know what it was. I just took some wine glasses and used those as candle holders. It says call through your garden. I just walk around my garden. Of course, everybody doesn't have a garden at home. Your balcony, your terrace, plants and green is always so nice and fresh to use. So it's my go-to thing for the garden. I mean, and I walk around, I see what works, and I just pick this bale up and just put it up there. Um, the napkins here, like you see, I've just crunched them together in a little ball and sort of put them there. Again, fun, instead of folding it the regular way. Of course, we don't want to fold it the restaurant way. It's home, so it should feel like home. That was the idea here. Yeah, then what I did is, because it was just 6 of us, and to make this place card of sorts, I took the stencil. You kids use that typical stenciling plastic little thing, and I used the stencil to write everybody's name, which was fun. Of course, I made a mistake, and hence the R went missing, which I realized later. But so just little things, because it shows that you made an effort. So when you're hosting anybody, the most important thing is that they should feel special. They should feel like you made an effort of having them over, and you put some thought into it. You didn't just order food and lay the food on the table and say, acha ho gaya. So it needs to show thought. That's the whole idea. Oh yeah, I use jagged scissors instead of plain scissors. It's also fun. It's something all of us have at home. The kids use it, for their art and craft and all of that. So it's always fun to do that. This was a wine dinner we had. My husband's part of this wine club, and we host a lot of wine dinners at home, where the main focus is the wine, really. So their club is called the Noble Rot, and when I'm hosting for them, they have a specific Noble Rot name, and they have a logo. So I wanted to bring that onto the table. So here again, I've used craft paper. It's a paper I love. It's very basic. It's that typical copy paper. You get those big sheets of it. I love it. I store it at the house all the time. I use it a lot. Again, you see, I've used the old book paper here, just to put it together. And here, what I've done is candles. Again, go back to candles. It's always fun. I always save my wine corks, and I sort of date them for when they were opened, because it brings back a lot of fun memories also, your landmark birthdays or even otherwise, and I write the name of the people that I had that wine with. So it's always very interesting to look at it and smile with some crazy memory from that night. Pine cones is something I love. We all go to the hills. You see them lying around. Every time the car goes to the hill, I tell the driver, ek bori mein bhar ke le aana. Because every year then we bring it, we dry it out, and I keep using them over and over and over again for so many different things. It's always nice to do that. Again, I put out the menu here, as you can see, because I always sort of like to do that. Here, what I did with the Noble Rot logo, as you can see, is that typical rubber stamp which we use in office. For all the official paper. So what I just send that to the guy, and it's like local guy makes it. It's nothing, you know what I mean? Literally, you have to send it to him 2 days before with anything. It can even say fun things. It can even have fun quotes. You can have a few made and keep at home, and you just make this. So I got this Noble Rot typical rubber stamp made from the guy. I don't know, it cost $200 or something. And I try to put it because it just brings in that extra element of personalization, and that always helps. Yeah, this was another wine dinner we did. So I always save the old wine bottles because they always make great decor props. You can use them as vases. You can use them even to serve water sometimes. It's just fun. You clean it out, you clean out the label, and you save them. I have used sorry. I've used wooden crates here, typical aam ki peti, the old style stuff. I save some of them. I keep them at home because I use them as risers. I use them as little boxes to put in my little decor things into. Always works well. For the wine dinners, glasses are very, very important. As you can see, there's a whole table full of glasses because each wine needs a different glass. So always, when you're hosting and if you're a home that serves liquor, you have to get your glassware right. That's very, very important, when you're hosting correctly. I do this very often. I use a lot of photographs with the people that I'm hosting on the table around the setting. Again, it takes you back to some of the fun times you've had. It brings in conversation, you laugh, you enjoy, and it brings everybody together, and the memories are always alive. Um, here what I have are these little metal buckets. I bought them randomly somewhere. I bought 12 of them, and I use them all the time for all sorts of different things. I've used them as beer buckets. I've used them for flowers, as you can see over here. I've used them to put my cutlery. I've used them to put my napkins. So many different ways of using it. So it's about investing in stuff that you can use for different things and for different looks, because I mean, we all have only so much space at home, and obviously we only can spend so much money on these things, because everything is crazy. So we must invest in stuff which you can use over and over again and for different things. This was a very simple dinner we had once at home, put together very quickly. Again, I just took this tablecloth I had, laid it out in a sort of oblong sort of manner, and went with that. Wooden cheese boards is something I use very often to lay the table, and it's always fun, instead of your typical ceramic bowl or glass bowl, to lay the food out on these fun cheese boards. It gives it that very tapas-ish organic kind of feeling. The singhas you see over here is something traditional family stuff, which I love using. I live in a traditional home, so there's lots of beautiful things that the family has owned over the years, and I always try and sort of throw that into some of the tables that I'm doing and stuff. Yeah, here you see them. It's a bigger picture of those. These little pots you see is something, the potter comes home, and my kids make these pots sometime. They were just lying around once, and I was like, okay, let me use them for the decor. The kids love it. Of course, they feel so special that you use something that they made. And it's great conversation pieces again. All the guests were like, oh, wow, who made this? And then there was, like a whole thing around it. So it's fun to do that. You have to personalize everything that you do. Actually, you have to bring in that yourself into it. You have to bring in your personality into it, and you have to bring in everybody else who lives in your home into it. I feel that's very important too. This was a tapas sort of dinner we had. I do this very often when I have more people, 25, 30 people. I don't lay dinner. There's nothing called as dinner, because I truly feel that if you're having a big party and then you lay khana, it's almost like saying, okay, now time to go home. So I don't like doing that, because it breaks the party, because the wife wants to eat and the husband doesn't want to eat, and then they get into this mood. So I'm like, you know what, forget the khana, let's take the khana away. I just lay out a whole bunch of stuff that everybody keeps nibbling through. Some of the warm stuff keeps coming and going. So here the idea is the table is very, very full. It's full of lots of small nibbles and things like that. Let me take you through this setting a little bit. I've got these paper cones again, my go-to, my craft paper. I make these little paper cones. Instead of putting the nuts and all in little bowls, you just do this. It's so easy to do, right? Your kids can make this literally. And the cheese platter always has to have some fun elements. Again, there's dark chocolate, which is always fun to put on the cheese platter. Always have a fruit, I feel. Some nuts, of course, your cheeses. I always put some bottle dips, which are so many fabulous ones available now. I, wrap the bottles with this little burlap, bori type of kapra, jute kind of kapra again, with a little bit of a thread around it. So, just instead of showing a bottle label, which may not be so nice, So it's always nice to bring the theme together and make everything look alike. Again, the menu, of course, is there. It's mandarin oranges plucked from the tree in the garden. Those are the big oranges you see are actually fake oranges. Those are not real oranges. Again, bought on one of my trips, work amazingly as props, just to bring that color and freshness to anything or any corner. Again, here I've used those wooden blocks again to work as risers. The table, I never like to lay the table flat in one line, because I think it becomes very boring and everything just sort of starts looking the same. So it's always nice to create levels on your table, to put something upper, something niche. So everything stands out in that sense, and the table looks prettier. Know your cheeses. When you're putting out a cheese platter, there's some amazing stuff available now out there. So instead of the usual, always buy something which is slightly different. food hall and all that. And Delhi, of course, has fabulous stuff now. So always invest in, keeping a quick cheese platter ready, because if even in literally in 15 minutes notice, if someone's coming home, this is the first quickest thing you can put together. You just pull out everything, the bottles, the nuts, the chocolates, the cheese, and in 10 minutes you have a beautiful cheese platter ready. This was a dinner we had set up. So this is not your usual home dinner, of course. This is a very, very decadent, very over the top, very immersive sort of feeling. This particular dinner, we had a theme. So what I do very often at home, all theme. So firstly, when you're inviting your guests, you invite them with that theme. So there's a little sense of intrigue. There's a little sense of mystery. There's a little sense of, oh, what does that mean? Or what should I wear? And, things like that. So the guest gets involved. And otherwise, instead of just saying, okay, come at 8, and everybody just sort of rolls in. So a day or two before that, there's always conversation between the friends, or who's wearing what, or who's doing what, or, stuff like that. So it's always interesting to give your dinners a theme. For this table, the idea was to keep it very, very decadent, very over the top, very, very not festive, but like very European sort of immersive feeling. So I use these very big vases with these crazy leaves into them. Here, if you see, what I did was I tried to match the seat covers on the chairs with the napkins, with the placeholder, the placemats which are under it. Of course, I understand it's not so easy for everybody to do these things. I have a factory that produces half of this stuff. So I just call the factory and say, ye bana do, wo bana do. But the idea is, over years, if you invest in little things and you use them for different sets of friends or family, you can always use them 7, 8, 10 times, and it works well. Yeah, so the theme for this particular dinner was absolute. And I'll take you through the definition in just 1 minute. What I also did was I got these little bottles of perfume and put them in this little red bag, and I had. So we were at the absolute setting. Like I said, this dinner had a theme, and I put out these little personalized perfume bottles. It had everybody's names on it. So when they would take it back home, and every time they would use that perfume, they would come back to this night and think about it. That was the whole idea. Can we go next, Aarti? Sorry. Again, I go back to the tic-tac-toe. It always makes a fun element on the table. As you see, all the candle holders and the flower holders and the little lantern, it's all to theme. So the idea for most of your dinners should be that you pick a theme in your head. It's got nothing, of course, it should resonate with who you are as a person, what your home is, what your personality is, and the personality of your guests. It's very important, because if you're going to put out something which they cannot connect with or they cannot understand, then that's not nice. So it has to be something that resonates with you and resonates with your guests, So here, and everything has to sort of then fit into that theme and flow into that theme. So let's go next, Aarti. Yeah, that was, again, instead of putting out the menu, this time I put out the theme and the meaning of what absolute meant. So absolute was, for me, it was a mood. It was a feeling, a space as a whole that creates a nostalgia induced scenery. So here the idea was to create this very over the top French decadent table with lots of little nibbles on it. I put strawberries and nuts and lavash and things like that before the main dinner or the starters sort of came on. So while everybody's having their wine and their drinks, everybody's got something to nibble and sort of build up the evening from there. In these little 2 jars, you see I put those little fragrance ceramic tablets, which is always amazing. Fragrance brings a lot of memories and nostalgia. So every home, every table, every dinner, we all wear perfume, right? All the time when we go out. So I feel our home should have its own perfume. Our dinner should have its own perfume. And it just creates, it leaves a note in our head, and that every time you smell that, then that memory comes back, which is always amazing. Aarti, let's go to the next, please. Yeah, these are just little shots of the same dinner at night. Of course, the feeling looks completely different with the candles and the lighting, and all the food comes in, and little conversation pieces. Flowers is always amazing. Fresh flowers, nothing brings light to fresh flowers. Oops, we have light back. Yeah, let's go next, Aarti. This was a coastal dinner I had at home. It was for very special guests. We were, I think, 10 of us. And the food was all your typical Andhra and Chettinad sort of food. So I wanted to create the setting which was exactly that. This is on our terrace. We did this. The weather was beautiful. And I used all traditional South Indianish sort of elements to put it together, from the flowers to the little things we'll see as we skip to the next slide. Ati, let's go next. So yeah. So here you can see I use the kaner flower, which is a traditional South Indian flower. You get it outside any mandir as such. Of course, there's mogra, which smells absolutely fabulous all the time. You know, I use these little old brass boxes I had lying around in like little somewhere it was lying, which you normally won't even look at otherwise, you know. And I just put it on the table. I put this little mango bite toffee into it. Again, idea is to have fun while you're hosting. Idea is for your guests to have fun while they're being hosted, you know. So little things. I use a lot of right now these days. It's very easy to find stuff online and very easy to just print things at home. Literally, all our kids are so technologically savvy now that they can literally do all of that for us, you know. So here I picked these images, these little photographs of traditional South Indian women dressed in their attire, and I put it all around. These little wooden cubes, the dice, I had them lying around, so I just threw them on the table, little wooden spoons. So, the idea is to, again, stick to your theme, bring the theme together, lots of elements that will fit into that theme. Let's go next, Aarti. My books are back again. As you can see, I always use my books. I've used them to death. All my friends who come very often, they're like, again, you put your books. But I love them because they always, and they work with every setting. You can see it's working on the Chettinad table, it worked on my Italian tables, it's worked on every setting. Of course, I use a beautiful traditional thali to serve this food instead of your crockery and cutlery that we use otherwise, because it's very important to eat this food with your hand and to eat it in the right setting. Put a little element on the name tags as well. So did that. Yeah, okay, let's go. The food, of course, you can make the place look as pretty as possible, but if you're not going to serve nice food, there's no point of doing anything, because food has to be amazing, food has to be special, it has to be beautifully plated. You could be serving the simplest of things, right? But just plating it a little differently, putting it out a little differently, makes all the difference, and it tastes even better. And we all live for food, we all live to eat, so that's always amazing. This was during the lockdown, actually. Little setup I did at home just for me and my husband, and it was something, literally bougainvillea from the garden, amias from the tree, and we have some mango trees at home. We're lucky like that. I use these old, it's a peakdan for people who know this. It's an old traditional brass thing we all used to use back in the day. So it's locked up in some store somewhere. Pull it out, use all the old traditional things. Just very simple. This table literally looks like a very basic villager sort of table, but the idea was to do that. Aarti, let's skip to the next, please. Yeah, so I use champa. It's a beautiful flower. The street that I live on here in Delhi has gorgeous amaltas trees. And the time when I did this table up, the whole street was blooming with amaltas. So I had to sort of pick some from there and put it out on the table. Yeah. And the colors, I like to play with colors. So the idea was to bring in super fresh colors. This was sometime in May, so it was hot in Delhi and all of that. There's a little DIY table, the salad like plate kind of thing, where you cut your own tomato and put your own masala and kind of make your own salad. So again, it's fun. Old kantha gudri that I had lying around, I use this as a tablecloth instead of my typical tablecloths. I use the old book paper again with the stencils to write the names. So this was my husband's name there, just to make it fun. This was a very simple table setting I did. Again, pine cones, little flowers, name tags, these mason jars, just to make it fun. Adi, this we can go through quickly. I know maybe because we're running out of time. I'm really sorry we lost on that. This was a very, very, very special dinner. It was for one of my closest friends, and it was her 40th birthday, and we celebrated it. And she's from Welland School. So what we did was try to bring back the entire Welland's nostalgia. So we sent someone to Dehradun Welland's who took pictures, and then we created, and we got us hand painted. Of course, this required a lot of effort. This is not something you do just generally at home, but it was such a special moment for this friend of mine. So I got this hand painting and this artist to hand paint all of this. So we created a whole Welland scenery, and we used her old pictures with her friends, and as she grew up, that's a Welland gate. I put Parley, Kiss Me toffee, back in the day when as kids we used to eat that. These phantom cigarettes, those sweet ones we all used to love to pretend to smoke with them. And just stuff which took us back to the school days. The idea was just that. This is another wine dinner we had, but my point here was to try and show you this. And I'll come to a little checklist of how, to host easily at home. Tablecloths, always change your table. So you invest in 8, 10, 12 great tablecloths, different themes, some little more Indian looking for your Indian dinners, some more European looking for your other, continental Italian sort of dinners, and just different styles. Even 2 in each is great to create that difference to your table all the time. Let's go next, Aarti. This is festive hosting. Again, a little holy we had at home. Again, went to the old storeroom, picked up these, I'm sure we all have these at home. These little old, what we keep atta and rice and dal and chawal and all of that in. These old canisters, they were lying in some storeroom. I pulled them all out, just used them because it was holy. It was going to get dirty anyways. I wasn't going to use any of my nice things. So, just put out the stuff in a more fun way. You could see I added plants again because plants always bring fun to everything. Gulal and rose petals used for Holi, always fun. Aarti, let's go next. Sorry. This was a Diwali dinner table. Again, small table, very simple. I used the arm peti again to just do a bed of gendas. Any florist of yours can do this. Very, very easy to do. Like I said, tent wala and the florist should be your best friends because to do your flowers differently, you can just call him, explain to him, and he'll just do it. So again, here I use simple white roses and red roses and made little balls of them to put on the table and did that. I covered my books, my typical old books with a little craft paper again to make them look different this time for my friends who were bored of them. Okay, next. Sorry, I'm talking a little fast. I'm trying to just go through everything very quickly. Okay, very quick things. Little black book. Keep notes about your guests. The guests you like to host thing. They say a little thing like, oh, I like to have this brand of alcohol. Oh, I don't like to eat this, or I like to eat this, or I like that, I don't like that. Keep a little note. Next time you're hosting them, go back to that for 1 second. It brings, they appreciate the fact that you remembered something about them, right? Always respect the character of your guests who you're hosting. I mean, of course, your home has to be your character, but you also have to respect what your guests will enjoy and would like and what would make them happy more than, you. Think of them and then plan everything around it. Of course, food being the most important thing of what we're planning. Keep a great linen closet, put everything together in one place so that when you're even standing in front of it and wondering what the hell should I do for tonight's dinner, you can just pull things and do that. Again, props closet, invest in these fun props, put them all in one place so that it's easy to go to and get them out and put things together very quickly because none of us have time in life to do all these things. We're also busy doing lots of things. Candles is always great. Buy lots of fun, chota memorabilia, chota things when you're traveling. Even, you could be going to the simplest place. Like if you find something pretty or fun or interesting looking, just pick it up. I can't see this. Okay.
Okay. So that was like an amazing, amazing session, Anuja, with lots and lots of takeaways.
Guys, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Super. Guys, we're going to do a short Q&A. In case anybody has any questions for Anuja, please feel free to type them in the chat box, you know. I'm sure she'll be glad to stay back for 5-10 minutes extra to answer all your questions. So if you have any questions, any comments, please feel free.
No, I'm here. Listen, again, I profusely apologize for the break in the middle. I'm so sorry about that.
No worries.
Not at all.
This comes part and parcel with all the webinars. So
lovely. That was like amazing. I guess we'll all be short of words, Anuja. Like, I love the personal touch you've given to everything, like each and every detail, right from your guest to your school 40th birthday celebrated, from making the tent wala and the fool wala our best friends, and so much to learn from you. I mean, the list can go on. We'll have to go through this whole PPT like several times to soak it in. So it was amazing.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah. So we saw these really sweet elements which you've used in your wrapping, like your gingham ribbons, and some really interesting stuff. And I also noticed that you used a lot of fresh flowers, from the garden or otherwise in your layouts. Where do you source all these things from? Can you take us through some of your quirky elements, which you've used in your layouts, which you've added, and which you've added the personal touch?
Sure, would love to. So what I do is, for my packaging, I have this little half a closet full of wrapping paper. So every time I see a beautiful wrapping paper, I just have to buy it. So I have a whole stock of wrapping paper. I can supply wrapping paper to the whole city if I had my way. I have so much kept up. Then, like I said, every time I see a pretty fabric, we go to so many markets buying fabric, beautiful print, this, that, so this one time, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
So, so it was a little ikat kind of print, and I just had it cut up and made into these little strips. So it works beautifully. Another time, it was this little ditzy, flowery print sort of fabric, again cut up and made into ribbons and kept in a roll, always handy to do beautiful girls packaging kind of thing. I use a lot of Nevar tape. I don't know if anybody even knows what Nevar tape is like. So it's what benches and carts were made with earlier, so you get this in different widths now. You get a 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. Works beautifully on packaging. I do this. Then what else do we have? My go-to is raffia. So of course, abroad, when we all travel, we get a lot of raffia. In India, you don't get raffia. You get this little plastic rassi type thing, right? You buy it in white and you have it dyed from your local dyer. So I keep it dyed in many, 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 many colors. And again, I use it with these tapes and the Nevar tape all the time to do my packaging. What else do we have? Yeah, these are my books. I love my books. My little Kabadi Bazaar purchase. Love it. Again, I've used the raffia to just tie around it. You can do any color. You can do whatever you like with it. Like I said, we live in a digital world. It's very easy to go online, look for inspiration, look for prints, look for little things. So what I did was I had, okay, again, I have to confess here. It's very easy for me to do this. I have a whole factory that produces textiles, right? So very easy for me to do this. Make friends with some friend of yours who has a digital printing machine, so that every time you can go to her and say, print me this, these are little napkins I used, these are just cocktail napkins I use. And for that charcuterie tapas kind of thing, I use the same print, and I printed out the cones, which were made with the same print. So the whole theme, sort of comes together again. Fun napkins. I buy a lot of fun napkins when I travel. Can you guys read this? So, again, instead of putting your typical boring white or colored paper napkins, and these things are very easily available, very easily bought when we all can travel again, hopefully soon. But even online, you get a lot of fun stuff now, and it's not expensive. You can easily order it. What else do we have? I have this. So you were asking me about flowers. Of course, it's beautiful. Flowers are amazing. They add a lot of fresh value. What I do very often is use some of my crockery at home to do the flowers in. So here, if you see, it's a mug. This is very nostalgic for me. It's a mug that my husband had made for me and hand painted for me back in the day when we were seeing each other. So it's fun to do that. I used my mom-in-law's old, oops, sorry. Can you see this little old cup? It's a typical teacup. We all have these tea sets at home, which us young people never want to use. But we must dig them out. I use it very often to do my flowers in them. Then, all of us, what I said earlier, we all don't have large gardens. It's not always possible, but we all have a balcony. We all have a terrace. We all have a little front foyer. Always keep 20, 30, 10, 5, whatever, little pots of plants ready. So you can quickly pick them up, clean them, and put them on your table, right? So this one time, again, from a random Diwali Mela type place, I bought this little container. You see, it's a little bird. And then I got the mali to put this little plant in it. So it goes on the table very, very, very often. This one other time, I was getting rid of this whole ceramic set of mine because some pieces had broken. So I took the rest and I had him again pot some things into it. And these go very often on my table. I use them all the time. So it's just things like this that I keep handy, and I keep trying to use them from now and then and make it fun.
So that was really, really nice, Anuja. Like too much actually to take away, and so much to learn from you. I'm sure all the members would agree to that.
It just comes naturally. Happy, I just do it with how I feel.
I think it comes from the heart because there's so much of personalization in all the stuff that you do, the little detailing. So it was lovely.
Thank you. Thank you
Thoroughly
so much.
enjoyed it. I can speak on behalf of all the members. So I would now request.
I hope so. I hope it wasn't too boring and too long.
No, it could be anything but that.
Yeah.
It was super enlightening.
So I hope all of you have a great festive season. I know this year, I'm assuming, and I hope everybody is not hosting too many people. We all have to stay safe with this corona madness going on. But even for ourselves to feel nice, please do up your homes. Please dress up nicely. Please do up your table so that we feel special at least for the next 2 weeks till we go back
after this session, you've encouraged everybody. I'm sure everybody is high on excitement with this.
I hope so.
In fact, Anuja, at least Flow Kanpur members today, everyone's come dressed up for the festive season. So we're going to stay back and we're going to click some pictures, even though we cannot meet, So if you just scroll through the videos, everybody comes dressed up in different colors, pre-decided colors, depending upon which group they are from. So it's a little bit of fun, which we plan.
Yeah. So I would now.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I do that sometimes for our dinners as well. I give them a color theme, just a simple color theme, right? Normal, white, black. Everybody has those colors in their closet. And then the pictures come out beautiful. So that always works well.
Yeah, lovely. So Aarti, I would now request our chairperson, Dr. Aarti Gupta, to please give away the green certificate to Anuja.
Super. Thank you, Shubha. Anuja, thank you so much for all the amazing ideas. I think your passion kind of shows in the way you were speaking about each and every idea. The beauty of today's session was that you showed us, these ideas that can be so simple, yet so personal and pretty. These are things which we all can incorporate so easily on our next time we are hosting without investing into these elaborate decorative pieces. And I love that. I absolutely love that. I think the most important tip you gave us today was that as a host, your guests need to know that you put in a little effort, a little thought behind your hosting. And I think at least that was a takeaway from me, that to make your guests feel special, because the hosting is not about you, but about the guest. And I think at times we forget that hosting, and you really brought that out in every single setting you showed. So can I request the IT team to please put on the green certificate? As a token of appreciation, Anuja, we at Flow Kanpur honor our guests by planting a tree in your name in the forest of Sundarbans. You can track the tree and the growth of the tree with a little certificate at the bottom. We'll send you the certificate once, couriers are okay to go and everything. But thank you so much for sharing all this valuable I don't know, like khazana of thoughts which you have with us. Like, you know, we really, really appreciate it. They're so fresh. Like we all love hosting. We all do these tables and everything, but your ideas have been so fresh. And thank you for sharing them with us, you know.
Thank you so much, Aarti, for having me and for thinking of me to do this. I'm very happy to share this and hopefully host everybody soon sometime. And thank you for the lovely tree and planting the tree on my behalf, which is amazing because we all need a little bit of more green around us. Thank you for that.
So I would now request our treasurer, Meenu Jhunjhunwala, to give the vote of thanks, please. Over to you, Meenu.
I think she's on mute. I'm just going to unmute her.
Yeah.
Hi. As we step into the festive hood, what better could we hear? These were some really mind-blowing tips on making our table, our gifts, and our home look gorgeous this Diwali. A heartfelt gratitude to Anuja Gupta from Apartment 9 for taking out time and explaining the small nuances to creating a more aesthetic and appealing home. We really enjoyed this session, Anuja. It was amazing. My heartiest thanks to our chapter chair, Dr. Aarti Gupta, for organizing this much needed event, bang on, just before Diwali, when we're just out of our quarantine zones and just looking forward to all the fun and excitement now. And a big thank you to our event chair, Shubha Gupta, for hosting it beautifully. Our deepest thanks to our year-long sponsors, Balenciaga Socks, Lohia Corp, and Art Denox for their continuous support. A big thank you to all our Flow members for joining us today. And I'm sure each one of us will take a little extra effort to make our gifts, our home, our table, our decor a little more sweeter and prettier this year. And yes, last but not the least, I think everybody should gear up to send us pictures of their creativity and win some amazing hampers, I guess. Thank you so much.
Super. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank
Anuja.
you.
It was so lovely.
Thank you, Anuja.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.